Okay, so here we are with number 2, and this is the second ship in the Origin 100 series. This is the Origin 125A. What does the A stand for? To be quite honest with you, I don't know what the A stands for, but for me it means attack. Why do I say that? Because this is the light fighter variant of the 100 series. This has the most firepower out of all 3 ships, and I've actually used this in a dogfight and it performed beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. So, this one's in black. It looks virtually identical to the 100i, and as you can see here, the colors are a little different. But it still has the air system, as all of the 100i series, I mean the 100 series, have. They all have the air system. So this is our quantum drive. It's the exact same quantum drive that is on the 100i. That's identical. Again, like virtually every detail of the ship is identical. This one just has a little more firepower. So let's go ahead and open it up. As you can see here, it also has this little cargo space, little crawl space for people or for cargo. So like, let's say you hop into someone's ship and I don't know, they're dicking around in the cargo base somewhere, and you just hide until you leave the armistice zone and shoot them in the head. Like, there's a meme potential. Nice thing with this ship though is when you're at speed, if you're not like seated, sometimes you can get clipped within the ship's own superstructure. So if anyone does sneak onto your ship, just make sure you fly really fast, and then that way they'll get stuck on your ship, or stuck in the superstructure of the ship, if you're worried about that kind of thing. So the cockpit is also identical to the 100i. So let me go ahead and there is there is an instrument panel that should appear there. Let's get the ship flight ready.
Origin ship works at your service.
There it is.
Operational.
So pay attention to the number Strike Force 2s. In the 100i Pathfinder, we only had 2, and this one has 4 more rockets because this is designed for combat. And like I said, it handles itself really well in space combat.
You are clear to launch.
Now, space battles still take like forever. That's why I don't really do much dogfighting in this game. I mean, you don't want to get one shot, but at the same time, you don't want to spend 6 minutes trying to shoot a ship down either. Oh man, my character is famished.
Launch complete.
Hopefully I make it through this review. But we're not going to go too far though, so I should be fine.
Raised.
And as you can see, the air current is kind of beating my ship around a little bit. So here we are, New Babbage at night. And I think it's the perfect environment for this review. And for the ship as well, because of just how cool it is.
Thank you, and please visit again.
So yeah, it's very inviting, you know, it's very comfy. I remember the interior of the M50, which is also an Origin, you know, had a very purpose-built cockpit. But this ship, again, it just feels a little more spacious, and it's designed to be. The M50 is a racing ship. It's not designed to do anything else but to get you from A to B super quickly. So let's go to max burn. And there we are, kind of fighting with the inertia a little bit. And remember, if you strafe into the ship's drift, you can kind of fight that effect a little bit. Because a lot of people have complained about how heavy the ship feels. But it's perfect for me. I'm sure there's snappier fighters out there, but yeah, this is us at full burn, so we're doing like 220 meters a second in atmo. And again, I believe that's identical to the 100i. Oh, I almost hit that hit that antenna there. Gotta be careful. Yeah, there's the drift. So like, is this the type of ship that you want to use in like super tight spaces? Probably not at full blast, you know what I mean? But that's with like most ships in the game. You don't want to go full tilt because you lose that maneuverability. So if we bring the ship speed down a bit, that drift is normal. But we're not going fast enough to where the ship can sustain its altitude, and that's why the thrusters activate, because we're actually going slower. As you can see, we're on like a light burn. And then if we speed things up a little bit. I really love the weather effects on the cockpit glass. It's really nice. You may wonder, it's like, why does 8-Bit Amethyst do all of his reviews in New Babbage? This is why. It's a spectacular city. It's beautiful. And you can fly just about anywhere you want. You don't get that same level of freedom on Area 18 or Hurston. So I barely spend any time on those planets. Area 18's a nice place to be on foot, but it's not a great place to be flying around. So again, the ship handles identical to the 100i, and I did say like at the end of this review we're going to talk about, you know, which is the best ship for you. If you're someone that says, okay, I want one of the 100 series, what ship should I buy? And that's what I'm going to help you do by doing these reviews. Now, I don't know if you just buy the 125A, like what colors you can get it in, because I got it in the premium package. So that premium package basically meant that the color was already chosen for me. I knew what color I was getting when I purchased it, so it wasn't like, you know, I was taken advantage of or anything like that. But you know, it is something to consider. It is something different. And if you look at our fuel here, we are at 94%. So we actually dropped more fuel flying this ship than we did with yeah, we're going pretty fast. That's why we're getting that atmospheric effect. It's beautiful though. As you can see, the contrails going back where it's supposed to be. And we are now, as you can see, this ship is doing 11,147. If you remember in the previous review, the 100i, the best the 100i could do is like 999. So this ship is faster. And it is more performance oriented. So while a lot of the nuts and bolts of the ship are identical to the 100i Pathfinder, this one just trades out a lot of the BS. Well, I shouldn't use that word BS. I think the Pathfinder, what it does have is good for pathfinding, I suppose. But consider like, all right, you have fewer rockets in the 100i, but what do you get in return? And you don't get anything in return. Like there's nothing that the 100i has that this ship doesn't, but this ship has more rockets. Now maybe if you're someone that doesn't like the beefier engine, which of course the ship has a beefier engine because look at it, we're already going faster than the 100i in Atmo. If you're not a fan of how that looks, then maybe that's enough of a deal breaker for you. But I think most pilots aren't going to give a single crap about that. That's just my 2 cents. Okay. Interstellar music's playing, so we probably have just entered orbit. Yep. And look at us, we're going 150 meters a second faster. So when we were in orbit, the 100i, we were doing 1,000, and now going 150 meters a second faster than that. So I say that's huge. That's huge. So I'm gonna go ahead and deaccelerate, and as is our custom, we do our spacewalk. And it's a lot easier to do in a ship like this because it's smaller. You can get to where you need to go a lot quicker. So it's great. And we have come to a complete stop. So let's go ahead and manually open the door this time, whereas we didn't do that last time. So you look at the guts of the ship there. That's that nice green glass that's inside the ship. And the easiest thing to do would be to like overdo it and just like fill the ship with it, which I feel would have been a nice luxurious touch. But I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad that they just accented it. So let's lie down here. So the view's pretty great. View's pretty great from your bed. And then of course there's open space right there. Also identical to the 100i. And here we are. And there is Port Tressler off in the distance. It's basically next door. Moving at interstellar speeds, of course. And then this is the whole of Microtech. All of its icy glory. But let's go ahead, close the door here, and just kind of look at the 125A and kind of see the ship in a way that you can't see in Atmo. So we'll go ahead, close the door here. Okay. So starting with the most noticeable part of the ship, which is of course the top of the ship. And this is really cool. I love the color and how the fighter is the black ship. And it's got this nice aesthetic to it. And this is literally my favorite part because I'm a big car fan, and I just like how you have that open engine bay. That one, enhances cooling. Let's be real. That's why it's here. But it also reminds me of like an exotic vehicle, and like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. You know, I just love that, and the neon accent just is my favorite part of this ship. You also have some intakes here on the top. You have a roof scoop here for more intake because this is a beefier engine, so it obviously needs to have access to more air. And then, of course, here is the air system. Now, is it as fuel efficient as the 100i? No. That's one thing that the 100i has over this ship is better mileage. But if you're going to be out in space, okay, and you're going to be pathfinding or scouting, I would rather take the 125A because it is a faster ship. Now, a Pathfinder could be away for long periods of time, in which case, yes, the 100i would be better than the 125A. But with the craziness this galaxy can bring, craziness the Stanton system can bring, I would always welcome uh, more missiles over anything else. And so, if we finish here, this is where the extra missiles are kept. So your standard payload is towards the front, but this has a juicier missile rack. And as you can see, coolant systems are located in the exact same place. Now, the landing gear is in a slightly different place in the 100i. I remember it being like a little more north of here, but it has minor differences, and the gun cannons are pretty much the same. You got the bearing laser cannons as well. So the little accent right here on the roof is the same color. And that's pretty much the ship. That's pretty much it. And again, all of these ships that I'm looking at are starters. So if you're someone that's like, saying, oh, that sucks, how can RSI come out with, not RSI, CIG come out with, 3 of the same ship? Ooh, okay, that hurt. That hurt. If you're someone that says that, you don't understand how automobile manufacturers do business. Like, whenever there's a series that comes out, every vehicle in that series looks identical to the next one, but there are slight differences, slight nuances that differentiate the particular trims, like the Mitsubishi Lancer versus the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. The core body's the same, but there are just little accents, little differences that sets them apart. So, as you can see, literally the exact same thing. And then that's the sound they make when they're starting to overheat. And I don't think I can show off the missile bay because I have like lock onto a target, so I can't like do a fake lock or dummy fire. Maybe that's something we can do with future updates, but it's not something that we can do right now. So let's do a little re-entry fun. I mean, if you guys want to move on to the next video, you can definitely do that now if you should choose. But I'm going to fly back home. I'm going to cheat because I actually can't eyeball it. Alright, there it is. New Babbage. And we're at full burn. Let's go. It's definitely easier to get home. And, the smart thing is with the ship behavior in this patch is the thrust is intelligent. In the old days, you would just burn 100% and you burn all of your fuel, even though you couldn't maintain speeds. Even though you could maintain speeds, I'm sorry. But in this game, once you hit that speed, because, you're kind of in orbit, and we're still in orbit, you don't need that much thrust to maintain speed. Um, so it's one of those quality of life updates that I really appreciate. But as many times as I have made this trip, going up to space and back down to Earth again, or I should say Microtech, it never gets old. The music, the visuals, um, you know, when I had first played Star Citizen, and that was almost 2 years ago, um, how it felt to leave a planet and just take in the beauty of like the stars and the galaxy and everything around you. Um, it was an easy buy, just $40 and I'm in. Like $40 and I'm in. Like yeah, easy. Um, so yeah, I really just love the aesthetic of the game, and that's why I always tend to do this in my videos, right? No matter what video or what ship I review, unless it's like a really big ship that's not that quick, I will always try to make an effort to, you know, fly down to the planet's surface and, you know, have a good time. So we are now 40,000 meters above ground, 40 kilometers. And we're dropping pretty fast, we're dropping pretty fast. So we're going to go ahead and adjust our rate of speed here. And we've just entered the armistice zone. And it's morning time now. It's morning time in New Babbage. When we had left, the sun was just over the horizon. It's still nighttime, but okay, now we are in Atma. Yeah, still bugged. It's okay. Game's still on alpha. I'm not sore. We'll just do this the easy way.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Okay. Coming in hot. And just look at that sunrise. So pretty. Do a little bit of climbing, a little strafe.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, looking good. Proximity alerts going off. And cut off cruise control. touchdown.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Engines.
Then we'll go ahead, cut the engines off. And that's it, boys. The 125A. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into the last of the three, because that one's gonna be a pretty quick review. But anyway, that's the 125A, guys, and now we're gonna move on to the last of the 100 series. So stay tuned and look out for the next video.